4 days into 2019 to be exact. And we're going to start off this year right, talking about some video game news like we always do every Friday. Great, let's jump right into it. Happy New Year, and let's go. So the first thing I wanted to talk about this week is Jared Petty over at IGN and put out an article talking about how 2018 is the best year in video games ever. And there was a couple other points in the video. Damon Hartfield suggested a different year, 1998 to be exact, because of StarCraft and a bunch of big games. Metal Gear Solid, a bunch of N64 games, Banjo-Kazooie I think came out in that year. Jared Petty was saying that 2018 was really big. You had your awesome first party AAA single player games that were back on the rise, and you had with their awesome narratives like God of War and Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. And then he also quoted a bunch of like resurgence in old video games. A lot of the indie scene is really big, and it's getting bigger every single year. And then Max Scoville, he had there will never be his argument pretty much boiled down to there will never be a best year in video games because it's so subjective. And then they bicker, but all in all, it was an awesome video, and I think I don't know. I think it started off the year right. It got me thinking about, hey, how did 2018 do? What's 2019 gonna look like? So just a cool, interesting video that I saw, and I wanted to give a few opinions on. Do I think 2018 was the best year in video games? I don't know. I mean, I think so. I think every year. I mean, it's hard to say. I could get into the argument of like every year is the best year in video games because more games are coming out, and they brought it up in the video. But I think 2018 was a really stellar year. Everybody thought single player narrative games were dying because 2017 had all these big multiplayer games, and Fortnite's still the biggest game in 2018, 2019, 2020. It'll still be around. Still be the biggest game. GTA 5 Online has kept GTA around for longer than a normal game's shelf life. So, online was killing single player, and 2018 kind of brought that back to life. As far as like the indie scene, I've always been into, last year I was playing, or 2017 I was playing What Remains of Edith Finch. I think the year before that, all the Telltale games, but the indie scene has always been happening, and it's I think the indie scene is as best as ever been because the bar for entry is getting lower and lower because the Switch is easy to port games onto. Steam has a very good greenlight program. I mean, depending on how you view it, some people frown upon the greenlight program because it allows for games to be in perpetual beta. But, besides that, getting off topic a little bit, I do think every year could be the best year in video games because I think I think games are always being innovative, they're iterative, and maybe that's a little bit of Max Schofield's argument in the video. But tell me what you thought. Is 2018 the best year of video games? Is there a different year that's the best year in video games? Tell me what you thought. I'll have a link to the video down below and comment below about what you think. Couple other things I saw this week. The video game unions are on the rise, and someone put out, I think Gamasutra put out an article talking about, our video game unions on the rise. I have a lot of friends that are in the movie industry, in the media industry, and it sounds like there's just unions upon unions, and I don't know if that's for good or for bad, but it just seems like there's a bajillion unions in the media industry, and then video games don't have that kind of same I don't know, they just don't have the same weight, I guess. I don't know if they're not big enough or if people just haven't banded together yet. But yeah, especially I think some of this is a response to the maybe the toxicity with like Riot and game women in games, and how that how the Me Too movement is affecting women in games. People are finally coming forward. I don't know if it's a response to one of the producers of Red Dead Redemption 2 talking about people working 100-hour weeks and how that's expletive and so I don't know if all of this is a response to that, but it would be interesting to see what the video game industry looks like if it were unionized, based on department like the other media industries are. But yeah, super interesting. I think UK has already got one, I think. I don't know too much of the details, so if you have any more information on that, feel free to exposit that down below. It'd be great to hear about that. Another thing that was thrown around this week is From Software, the company behind Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Demon Souls, and the new Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, is coming out with 2 unannounced video games. My bet is on Bloodborne 2 is definitely going to be one of them. They've got to be working on that. It was amazing. I wonder if it'll be console exclusive like Bloodborne 1 was. And that came out in 2016 or 2017? Tell me below. I'll probably Google it later. But it came out, 2.5, 3 years ago, and that's the typical, if there is a typical cycle, that's a typical cycle for video games launching. So it sounds about time, like for a Bloodborne 2. And then the other one, I think it's like an up-res. I don't know, I don't know how big From Software is, but for them to be working on 2 full titular games, massive games at once, I don't know if they can pull that off, but maybe they can. And it's 2 completely new things that we haven't seen before. So if it was an up-res, I was thinking is it a Demon Souls up-res? Is it Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 all in one pack with all the DLCs? I think they did Dark Souls 1 and 2 for the Switch, right? They bundled those. So people might feel cheated if 1, 2, and 3 were now bundled on all consoles, if they bought that. But it'll be interesting to see what From Software is cooking up, since they already have a game coming out in the next couple months. If they have 2 more games coming out this year, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty sweet. More games, that's what we want. Gamers want more games. You heard it here first, folks. Next is PUBG is finally coming to PlayStation 4. I saw a video advertising that. I don't think it gave an exact date, but that is good. Finally, PUBG is going to open up to the largest console on the market. So even though Microsoft has its hold over Bluehole, I think it's smart to put PUBG on PlayStation. I think what were we talking about? We were talking a while back about what's a big move Microsoft to make to gain market dominance again. And we were like, could they just buy EA? And of course Microsoft could, because Microsoft's got $1 bajillion. But then it's like, my coworker's like, no, you'd never make FIFA console exclusive. And I was like, you don't have to sell the game. Just because you own the game doesn't mean it has to be exclusively on your hardware. It could just be because FIFA is a profit driver and you just buy the whole company. Now, do I think Microsoft's going to buy EA tomorrow? No, I don't think so. But it was just an interesting conversation I had about just because you own something, just because you're a first party doesn't mean you have to exclusively sell your first party game onto just your console, onto just, the first party console. Now that's mostly how you're going to do, because consoles are actually probably where you're making a lot of money. Maybe not Nintendo's case. I hear the margins are razor thin. But as far as Xbox and PlayStations are concerned, I bet those are... I wonder if we're ever going to get to it, side thought here. I wonder if we're ever going to get to the point where... it probably is already that way, that hardware is a bigger purchase, but I feel like the margins are higher on games, especially if you're talking digitally. So shouldn't you want as much digital content on your platform as possible? I don't know. I'm getting lost in my own train of thought. But PUBG on PS4 is out, and or is not out. It is coming soon. And if you are a big battle royale player, then you will be enjoying that on your PlayStation 4 sometime soon. Speaking of What Remains of Edith Finch, the Epic Store has it for free currently. I think I don't know too much of the details, but on the Epic Store, they are doing. I would assume they're doing their. I think they're having a free weekend of What Remains of Edith Finch. So if you want to play one of 2017's best games, I think you get one or two. Was it nominated? Did it win any? I think it won Best Indie Game in 2017. So definitely a fun game. I enjoy it. I endorse it. Please play that game. It is super awesome. Storytelling is amazing. So yeah, check that out. Go to the Epic Store and download it right now. Get it. And then last but not least, I saw these awesome, I don't know why I didn't see them until after Christmas, but I saw these awesome Overwatch Nerf guns, and I thought they were really cool. I believe there was like a basic Diva one that was like super small, and it had like the one dart shot, and then there was a McCree McCree revolver, and that had the balls as opposed to because Nerf has been going to the small spherical padded bullets at this point, so it had that. But I don't think you could load 6 shots in. I think you could only load in like 1 shot at a time. It also came with like a badge or something. And these were all like super cheap. I think the first one was like $10. The McCree pistol was $30. Then there was an actual like more robust Diva gun that you could load 3 shots into, and then you could load them, and then you shoot all 3 at once. I don't remember what the price tag on that one was. But that one looked super cool. And then the piece de la resistance was the $200 Reaper shotguns, and you could like load 8 pellets. I don't know what do you call the spherical balls? You could load 8 Nerf balls into each of the 2 shotguns that you got with it. And it also came with like a Reaper mask. And then I guess you could I don't know if it shot all 8 at once or if you could shoot them one at a time, but it was super cool. So most of them ran on those like little balls, and I don't know how I feel about the Nerf ball. I'm kind of a sucker for like the Nerf darts. Maybe I feel like you don't lose them as easily. But maybe this is too much thought to be giving to a Nerf gun, considering I am a nearly 30-year-old. But yeah, age is a frame of mind. So, and I can see 4 Nerf guns in my current line of sight. So Nerf, super fan, send me stuff. I don't know. But anyway, that was this week in video game news. If you think I forgot anything, feel free to comment below and talk to me about video game news that you saw this week. I'm going to be trying to upload these on the same day that I record them. So if you're watching me live right now on my Twitch, I appreciate you following me and maybe possibly subscribing. And if you're watching me on my YouTube, it's also going to be hopefully uploaded on Friday night. So if you're seeing this on YouTube either Friday or any day after I upload it, then I appreciate you following me and maybe checking me out on my Twitch channel. But thanks for showing up, thanks for watching, and if there's anything you missed, feel free to comment below. Bye!